This is Board Bag Studio, the podcast where I talk to snowboarders about their habits regarding fitness, health, and everything else. I'm Jesse Paul, and for this episode, I spoke with Ethan Morgan. Before we get into the conversation, I just want to say that this was recorded towards the end of November. I think it was the 22nd. It might have been the 23rd or 4th, but just keep that in mind. And the next couple episodes that I come out with are also going to be just slightly dated, but that's just how I have it working right now. It might change in the future, but just keep that in mind. Ethan Morgan is a professional snowboarder who lives in Innsbruck in Austria, and that's where I met him for this podcast. I was staying at his house for a little while when I was out there. We were riding some glaciers together, and I recorded this in his kitchen. We started out talking about CBD, and we actually were drinking some CBD tea as we started the podcast. So that was kind of fun to dig into that a little bit. He brought up CBG, which is another cannabinoid, kind of like THC and CBD. It's actually the effects seem to be closer to CBD. It's non-psychoactive, although it's the parent molecule of both CBD and THC. So that was pretty interesting to learn about. Ethan told me about growing up. He was born in Japan, grew up in the US for a bit, and then moved to Europe. And so he's bilingual, and he told me about what it's like to be bilingual. And he told me about The Future of Yesterday, which was a movie that he was in last year. He told me some stories from that, and he told me a little bit about the project that he has planned for this year, which I think is going to be incredible. It's going to be hilarious. He's a really funny dude if you guys don't know about him. And he is incorporating that into his project, which I think is just amazing. He has blue hair, or had blue hair when we recorded this episode. And so he told me about that and what the story with that is. We ended up both getting our hair bleached together while I was there. And so now I have long blonde hair and his is short. And it was because we were going to a Scooter concert. And if you don't know who Scooter is, he is a short-haired, bleach-haired dude who is like a DJ, techno, German legend. But yeah, so we dyed our hair for that and ended up going to the concert a week later. And it was pretty good time. It was a great time. Ethan also told me about his yoga practice, which he does most mornings. When I was there, every morning he would stay in his room for about half an hour stretching and doing yoga, which I thought was actually really inspiring. And we even talked about his experience with meditation, and I talked a little bit about some of mine. And we talked about what he did last summer, which was work at a dry slope airbag and run a vegetarian restaurant. He's been vegetarian for 2 years, and he created the menu at that restaurant and was the main cook and the main guy there. So I thought that was pretty cool to hear about. And then we got into some injuries that he's had in the past, the hardware he's got in his body. And we finish it off by me telling you guys about, well, actually, he brought up the smoothie that we had that morning, and then I just tell the audience what I like to put in my protein smoothie with spinach, and you'll hear about that at the end. And then he also got into some music that he's been doing lately. He's been getting really into DJing, and he's even been called DJ Blue Man because of his blue hair, but it seems like he can't quite be called that anymore. Anyways, I had a great time. You guys are going to love it. Give it up for Ethan Morgan. Ethan Morgan. welcome to the podcast.
What's up? How you doing, Jesse?
Good, how are you?
Chilling. We're just out here, Innsbruck, doing good.
Yeah, we just smoked a CBD joint.
Oh yeah, I'm baked out of my mind right now. No.
And now we're sipping on CBD tea.
Overdosing on CBD today.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much. Definitely not going to feel sore tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. What got you into CBD?
Well, like I live in Innsbruck for 8 years, and Innsbruck is always like a couple years behind everything, and they like 5 years behind everything else in the world.
Yeah.
Well, like 20 years behind LA nowadays, I gotta say. But last 2 years they made CBD legal, so, or maybe even 3 years, I can't remember exactly. But yeah, just got into that. I didn't really want to smoke normal weed anymore because it got me too high always, and just got into smoking CBD because it's good for you, good for the health, good for after snowboarding to relax the muscles and everything. It's a good muscle relaxer.
You can still do a podcast after smoking a joint.
Exactly. I'm not completely brain dead right now. I know what I'm talking about at least. So no, it's good. And
you were saying that Haldor kind of he's all about it.
Yeah, Haldor and Frank as well. Like last season, Frank came out to film. Frank Bourgeois came out to film Real Snow here in Austria with me and Haldor. And yeah, he's always been kind of into CBD as well. And Haldor got really into it. And Haldor is about like all the oils now and everything. And yeah, actually Frank just made a company called CBD, so he's actually going to start selling. He started it with two other friends. I think DCP joined in on as well.
Who's that?
DCP, the backcountry rider. I don't know his full like name. He's like like legendary backcountry rider from Canada, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they started that company, and yeah.
Do they have a storefront, or is it an online thing?
Yeah, it's going to be an online thing at first. I think they were saying like they wanted to buy some product and then resell it.
Cool.
And they want to sell in the U.S. first because the laws in Canada are a little bit complicated. It has to go through the government and everything. But yeah, they're super hyped. The Frank is already rocking a CB Days sticker on a snowboard.
Oh, sick. Does he have a team yet?
I think that's the plan in the future.
Damn.
He wants to definitely get like a couple riders to like kind of just pump it up, support it a little bit. I already told him I'm down to just rock a sticker and not even get any goods for it. It's just a cool sticker. But a lot of people like walked up to him like, "Oh, what's that? CB Days?" Like, it's a cool name. I like it. It's flashy, and he's like all about the CBD as well. Like,
yeah, cool. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things coming out with weed and CBD in snowboarding within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
But that's sick. Do you notice a significant difference with CBD stuff?
I feel like you just get a little bit more relaxed. You don't really you don't get high or anything. It's just kind of a mind fuck because you're smoking weed and you're not getting high and you're like,
I know,
what?
Especially smoking a joint.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you really feel,
Yeah, exactly. You feel like something's gonna hit now, but then nothing happens, and then you're just like, but once you like start getting used to it, it's not just like a mind fuck. It's just also you're like chilling, and then you can kind of feel how it like kind of starts getting into the body, and kind of like you can feel it more as a body high instead of a head high.
Yeah.
And but what I recently got into is CBG.
CBG.
Yeah, I have it here actually. You can try it as well later.
I'd love to.
It's that I could really feel. I still don't even know what it is, but the guys told me at the shop, the Blute is like a homie's CBD shop in Innsbruck. They said that this is good for after sports, and
sick.
You just take like 10 drops or something like that, or 5 or 10 drops, and you like literally feel it instantly how it like rushes through your whole body and like gets really warm, and the next day there's like you're not sore, you're feeling great. Yeah.
Does it feel similar to CBD, just a little more intensified?
I felt like it was more intense, but it was also because it's drops, it had a lot more percentage, but I don't even know what the G stands for, honestly.
I should look into that. I'd be curious.
Yeah, you should check in on that a little bit because I have no idea, but they told me it's good, so I believe in them.
Yeah.
Tell me anything and I'll believe in it, so.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if all the hype about CBD is overhyped. I mean, I think it's a great thing and it is anti-inflammatory and it's been proven to help with sleep and stuff like that. But I always, at least when I first started using it with creams and other things like that, I was always like, is this really doing anything? But then we have this CBD weed at my house, and my girlfriend and I, we would smoke a huge joint of it, and I just out of curiosity, like, how much of this do you have to smoke to really feel something? And then you do get like, it's weird because it's so subtle, but if you're really paying attention to it, you can kind of feel it. But yeah, the thing I love about it is that it is so unnoticeable, Yeah, like how you can, because it's kind of fun smoking a joint. And when I'm smoking a real joint, I'll take a hit, and sometimes I'm like, was that too big? Am I going to be too high right now? But yeah, I just love that you can just have it so much and be chilling. But yeah, and I used CBD rub a lot when I was healing my leg. And,
okay. I heard that's supposed to be really good. I haven't used that yet, but
it was really nice. It kind of, I think it had something else in it too that made my leg feel a little tingly, and so it was really a nice experience. And yeah, this CBD tea is, man, I love it. There's so many cool things.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have everything.
Yeah.
CBD honey, 100% organic honey, the way nature intended. Okay.
Yes, because honey naturally has CBD in it, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It's proven.
Yeah. Anyway, so tell me your story of, born in Japan. You've got kind of a crazy history. Let's listeners know.
Yeah. Long story short, born in Japan, half American, half German, lived in the U.S. for 4 years and moved to Germany when I was 7. And lived in Innsbruck for 8 years now. So kind of been all over the place, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of a wild thing with being born in Japan, but my dad was like working for the military as a civilian teacher and would be like moving from one U.S. military base to the next, and we'd kind of just tag along, and it's kind of cool. Like, it's a different kind of way of growing up. You don't really like grow up and like have like your friends that you've been like seeing since you're like 3 years old or something, or 4 years old when you start realizing shit, but like but you get a lot of life experience traveling and all that kind of stuff at an early age. It's definitely like it changes the way of how you are as well, in long time future especially, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty hyped about it. It's kind of cool. It's a funny little story I can tell everybody as well. So
yeah, it's really interesting, and there's so many different influences there, and I can imagine that it kind of makes you a little bit more adaptable, and just, I mean, the fact that you can easily speak German and English. I mean, I know there's a lot of bilingual people, but that's, I think that's definitely a skill, and you can go so many places in the world and just, be fine. I can't talk to, I mean, you heard me trying to speak any German, and it's so bad, but
yeah, I mean, it's a tough language, obviously, but yeah, I mean, definitely helps to have two languages. Mm-hmm. To just get around in life, and especially German is such a big country in the world. Like it's all over the place. So, and German tourists are all over the place as well. They love going on vacation, so everybody kind of adapts to them as well a little bit. So it's pretty easy. And
so, where in the U.S. were you living again?
Virginia.
Okay.
For 4 years, close to D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I think I was 1 or 2 years old when we moved away from Japan to the U.S., and then I moved up to, then we moved to Germany for like 2 years up north in Wiesbaden, also another U.S. military base, but it was such a boring place that my parents, we went on vacation always down to Garmisch, and then we decided we were going to buy a house in Mittenwald. Like, it's the town that's like right on the border to Austria, half an hour away from Innsbruck, and that's pretty much where I grew up most of the time in my life. And then I went to a U.S. school on base in Garmisch, and yeah, kind of just started snowboarding right when I moved here. Before that, I was like skiing and stuff like that. And
You were skiing in the
yeah,
US?
skiing. No, not in the U.S. Like actually, right when
In
we
Germany.
moved to Germany up north, and we
got it.
came on some vacation trips and stuff like that down south
Cool.
to where my parents now live and where I grew up. And right when I moved there, got a snowboard for Christmas, and
The rest is history. That's awesome. So, what age were you at that point?
7.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you're 27. 20 years.
27. 20 years on a snowboard.
Wow.
It's crazy, man.
Damn. That's cool.
Yeah, starting to really feel old, man.
Yeah.
Double-decade snowboarder right there. That's insane.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you filmed for The Future of Yesterday last year.
Yeah.
How was that? It looked like you guys had the most fun season ever.
Yeah, it was insane, man.
Yeah.
That crew is ridiculous. Like, so fun to ride with. So much shit was happening always with those guys. We had our ups and downs. We had some tough trips. We had the RV tour of depression where we didn't get a shot for a whole month pretty much, and just
Oh my God.
yeah, like
Were you guys trying to get
we were
shots?
trying
And just nothing was working
and
out.
nothing worked. Snow was bad. We drive from eastern Italy to western Italy, and because we believed that there's going to be a snowstorm, didn't turn out to be a snowstorm. It was just windy, blew all the snow away. And yeah, shit got pretty intense on that trip for sure. Like our filmer broke his back on some rocks and shit.
Oh yeah,
like
you
that.
were telling me about that.
Yeah, and then like it was it was like tough times, but then we had like straight after that had like the best trip ever, and we got like 20 shots in one day within 4 riders, and then like another, like the whole trip was just insane. So like, and in France this was but yeah, in total the whole season with the boys was great. We were a small crew, all homies, and yeah, I mean, I think you can kind of get the deal out of it on the movie. Like, you can really feel the vibe that we're just homies trying to have a good time, and that's what actually happened.
Yeah, I think the movie did a really good job of really showing you know, the lifestyle and you guys snowboarding and having fun. And I like that there was some resort stuff in there too, you know, and some backcountry stuff, a little bit of street stuff. Like it was and it was all condensed in a nice, easily watchable time frame. And I thought Theo did a really good job putting it all together and stuff.
Theo killed it on that movie, definitely. He put a lot of work into that one and definitely paid off. Yeah,
maybe we'll see it in the runnings for a nomination. Who knows?
Shit,
I just got the email this morning. I haven't really had a chance to look through.
Yeah, we gotta check that stuff out later.
Yeah, hopefully. And so this coming season, you're working on your own project.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so like still planning everything right now, but I mean, it looks pretty much like I'm going for it. Yeah. I'm gonna make a movie about myself.
Nice.
I'm gonna make a full-on documentary, and it's definitely not gonna be a serious one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the exact opposite. I'm gonna just go all in on making a mockumentary about myself, about other documentaries, and yeah, the best part about it is that Stan is actually gonna be doing it with me.
Yeah.
And Stan from Last Resort, of course, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's hilarious. He's a comedian. He is going to make it so good, I think. Like, with him being on the mic and like interviewing people, interviewing me, being a little asshole to me, like taking me down, and then
and so is he gonna be there, like at the spots and at wherever you're at, and just kind of run up to you? How did that feel? I can imagine shots like that.
Yeah, we were already talking about that, like having him on street trips, and I like can't land a trick forever, and then he just comes up to me and just takes me down even more.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to.
Or maybe he's in the foreground and like talking shit on you as you're hitting the spot.
We got a lot of crazy ideas. Like, we're just gonna start filming in 2 days. And I have so many ideas, I don't even know where to begin, but we're just going to film so much and then see what makes it into the movie. Like, so many different funny random skits that we're going to do. And, of course, I mean, it's not just going to be a comedy movie. It's supposed to be a snowboard movie, obviously. Yeah. And just definitely going to try to get out there and try to film as much as possible backcountry and street and park and stuff like that, and get a bunch of riders to come with me and get some friend parts in there and stuff like that. I mean, I have no real plan how the movie's going to turn out in the end. I just know it's just going to be pretty ridiculous, random, funny, and hopefully some good writing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be amazing and hilarious. I always love the just the weird shit that you've been up to, and
Thanks, man.
like making funny little skits and stuff. That's always good shit. Speaking of being funny and ridiculous, what's the story with the blue hair?
I don't know. I've always wanted to get hair color. I mean, you know all about it. You're Mr. Rainbow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like. I got blonde hair because we had to film for the intro of the Future of Yesterday, and I've been always playing Scooter music, like Scooter, the techno DJ.
Is that who you were playing in the intro, like being the DJ?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
And, like I always was playing it on my sound box, just blasting it as loud as possible, and kind of pissing a lot of people off. Always walking into bars with Scooter on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and I got my hair blonde, and then eventually I thought, okay, I got a base. Why not go blue?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe green. And
so
I just decided blue.
Is the DJ Blue Man? Is that a real thing? Is that going to be your name?
I mean, as of now, it's DJ Blue Man. Maybe it'll turn to Purple Man eventually. Maybe Rainbow Man, DJ Rainbow. I don't know. Like, we'll see. I have so many nicknames, man. I don't even keep track of all of them. Like, so many people call me so many different things. So it's gonna be. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we're going to Scooter on Saturday, which
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah. Sorry, we're going to Scooter on Tuesday in Amsterdam. I'm extremely excited and a little bit scared.
Man, you're going to be on a full-on Euro tour, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be as Euro as it gets. Scooter is the most European, most German techno artist you can find out there, that's for sure. He's a legend. Everybody knows him around here. As soon as I dyed my hair blonde and cut him short, like, people were always calling me Scooter.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's going to be intense, man. It's some hardcore techno in Amsterdam. It's going to be pretty messed up, I think.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be good. Really pumped as well.
So I want to move on to some health stuff, or just kind of some routines. How do you usually start your morning? I noticed that you like to do a little bit of yoga.
Mm-hmm. I've been getting into yoga last season a lot. Always did it after riding.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like got the flow into it and everything. And then this summer actually started getting into meditation as well.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it yet. I'm still working on it. It's not an easy thing to master.
Really
it's really hard, actually. It's like hard to like actually focus on literally nothing, if you want to think of it like that, or like specific things in your body, or trying to feel something.
Yeah. So what are the resources that you've? I guess first of all, why did you decide that you wanted to start meditating? And second of all, have you read a book or watched some videos, or how are you going about it? Or are you just kind of trying to self-experiment?
So like yoga started off by 2 years ago. I started stretching every day after snowboarding. It felt great, but then I started yoga and it felt way better. The stretching is you're not really focused on what you're doing. You're just kind of like stretching.
You're just kind of pulling.
Just pulling some strings on your body and like, I don't know, trying to make everything feel a little bit better. But there's nothing really like intimate about it. You're like, when you do yoga, you have to breathe into the body, breathe into the muscles, and really stretch out. Yeah. And feel it, kind of.
Yeah, it's really cohesive too.
Exactly, yeah. And it like, it's good for the mind. I feel like you really like get relaxed afterwards. And so yeah, then I started getting into yoga a lot. And then once I actually got into yoga a lot because of just in general talking to a bunch of different people about it. And our designer from Battalion, Danny Kiebert, he like is a full-on yoga master kind of guy, and he like does every day, wakes up an hour earlier than everybody else and does like an hour of yoga every morning.
Wow.
And does a like 20-minute meditation every day and everything.
Really?
Like he's like fully on it, and he's good at it, and he's insanely flexible, and he is this dude that always comes on trips with us, and he will literally send it off of every feature we build. It
Really?
does not matter if it's a massive road gap or like a street feature where it's like a gap over a wall or a massive flat bar to drop or something. He'll do anything, and he can snowboard for sure. Like, he's good, but he's a Dutch sender dude. He does not give a fuck, and he like sends it as hard as he can, and he will slam on his head, his back, and he's like over 40. And
wow.
He's never gotten hurt, really. Like,
no way.
And he
It's
puts
just a
it all
rubber
in the
man.
yoga. Yeah, he's a rubber man. Like,
I mean,
really.
if you're doing an hour of yoga every morning, I can imagine you could take some slams and just walk away.
When was it? Last year or 2 years ago at the battalion team week, we built this massive like 60-foot gap over a stone wall into like a super flat landing, and he just G'd out on the takeoff, did half of a backflip, landed on his neck on rocks, and he was laughing.
Wow.
And I was like, you could have died. And he's like, oh, it's the yoga, man. And I was like, okay. But then
at that moment, you're like, I got to start doing yoga.
Yeah, kind of pretty much. Yeah, that's where I was like, okay. No, but then we got into meditation. Like he did like a session with us last year at the sales meeting with the whole team. Kind of.
That's awesome.
That was cool. Like he kind of like guided us through it. We did like 1.5 hour session. Yeah, it was a really nice feeling of like having this 1 hour session and then actually just like laying down, lights off, and like really like getting into like thoughts and like making those thoughts go away and all that, like the meditation thing that you kind of just got to like think of nothing kind of and try to like just empty your mind. And that was a great feeling until our team manager rolled in insanely drunk into the room when we were finishing our meditation, and he's like yelling at us that we're all pussies.
Wow. Of course.
That was so funny though. But yeah, it was like yeah, but it was great. And then after that, I started doing that a little bit. I got some apps and stuff like that. Like I got this Calm app is what it's called.
Calm.
Yeah, it like does like sessions with you, talks to you, and kind of guides you through the meditation. And
is that like 5-10 minutes, 20?
Yeah, 5, 10, 15. You can choose.
Oh, okay.
It's like different kind of programs you can choose from.
Is that a free app?
No, you have to pay for it.
How much? Do you know?
Oh shit, I can't.
A couple
remember.
bucks maybe.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Cool.
It might even be like a membership you have to get to. I can't remember. But
was that the only app you tried to use?
Yeah, there's another one called Headspace.
Yeah.
Haldor said he's getting into now too.
Yeah, I've given that one a try.
Okay.
And for some reason, I had a hard time staying on it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm actually got to say I'm not on it with the app anymore either. But I think it's because once you kind of figure out a little bit how it goes,
you can kind of
do it on your own. Yeah, you don't have to like always do that stuff. Yeah. But I was doing that a lot, and now. So getting back to the question of how my daily routine starts is that, I wake up half an hour earlier than like most everybody else does and try to do like half an hour yoga and like a couple minutes of meditation to start the day, make coffee, eat breakfast. And then we go up on the mountain or whatever. Yeah.
So you roll out of bed. Do you drink any water or anything like that, or you just roll straight to your mat and start doing some poses?
Nah, that depends. I mean, if I'm insanely hungry, I'll actually maybe eat first.
Yeah.
It's better if you don't eat first because it's just really good to just really start your day with doing that. Yeah. Just drink a couple sips of water just to get something in you and then just go. Mm-hmm. That's the best way to do it for sure. Like, I definitely feel a difference. Like, today I ate breakfast and then stretched and definitely felt better the times before when
you did the opposite.
When I did the opposite, yeah.
Cool. And do you tend to do the meditation after you stretch?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because that's like, I think with the stretching and the yoga, you can kind of get into like a breathing.
Yeah, you get a little more connected with your body, and then you can kind of end it off by just resting. And you usually in a cross-legged position, like standard meditation pose? Yeah,
I do cross-legged always. Sometimes I lay down, but not that often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just try to like breathe into my body and feel like how my body feels compared to before the stretching, and that's always like kind of the meditation routine I got.
Yeah. And what are some of the poses that you do for the yoga? I mean, you don't have to necessarily name them, but I mean, do you kind of go through a flow, or do you like to sit in postures for a little while, or what kind of works for you?
I used to do like yin yoga a lot.
Oh yeah, I've done that before.
But I heard it's not good for your ligaments.
Oh really? For those who don't know, yin yoga is basically you're using your body weight to really lay into a stretching position, and you just stay there for what, like 5 minutes?
5 minutes per position.
Yeah.
It's nice, but and that's very like calming as
relaxing.
well. Relaxing, yeah. And but yeah, apparently it's not very good for you. So I've gotten into more. Yeah, as I said as well, now getting into the morning routine, and that's better to like get into a flow state.
Yeah.
So you like really like kind of like activate the muscles, kind of like do some just like breathing exercises with the movements, and kind of do like one step at a time, and not like just stay in one thing, one position for a while.
Have you ever tried Kundalini yoga? It's not really one that you would start the morning with, I don't think, but if you ever get a chance, you should give it a try.
I've never even heard of that.
It's really crazy.
What is that?
It basically it's a type of yoga that's really focused on breath and energy work, and a lot of movement, and a lot of times really weird things, and even some chanting and stuff like that.
Oh, what?
And you usually end the practice by singing a song with the rest of the class.
Wait, what's it called again?
Kundalini yoga.
Kundalini yoga.
Yeah, and it actually gets you in this crazy headspace because you basically, for some of the movements, well, one of the main things about it is the breath of fire, which you're basically like with your abdominal muscles, you're like pushing your stomach in, and that kind of like presses the breath out of your lungs, but at the same time brings it in. Like it's like...
I've heard about this before. Yeah.
And so you're almost like hyperventilating, and you're doing it through your nose, but you do that for like 5 minutes, like while you're holding these crazy positions. Like you might have your arms just at straight out 90 degrees with your thumbs up, and you're cross-legged, and you're just doing that for like 5-10 minutes, and your arms get so tired, and you're just like pushing through, and it like the energy that you build up inside your body is insane. And
I've never nice.
I mean, you literally get high, like it's crazy.
What?
And you get into this really crazy meditative headspace, and a lot of the times you're doing like spinal movements where you're cross-legged, and you're just, you know, gyrating your spine, and like kind of closing your eyes and going into the movement. It's a lot more active than certain yogas. I mean, there's like vinyasa flows where you're moving pretty fast and stuff like that. But this is like you're focused on one thing and doing breath work or doing that for a long time, and you kind of lose yourself in it, which is one of the reasons that it's become one of my favorite types of yoga, is because I tend to think way too much, and especially if I have a teacher that is really teaching me, you know, telling me how to do certain,
it definitely makes a big difference
micro
to have
movements.
A good teacher as well.
Yeah, it's just nice because you just get lost in the movement. And
exactly.
Actually, apparently, it's one of the ways that you can get in that same headspace as like transcendental meditation or psychedelics. Like you touch into this crazy life force in a way.
Wow.
But yeah, you should definitely look into it. And if you ever have a chance to take a class, I would recommend it. And you're going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. They might make you like do some weird chants, or there's one of the weirder things that I've done in the class is you're standing and you like kind of bend over and you grab your feet with your hands, and then you just like walk around the room. Well, I keep bumping into this thing. But yeah, you walk around the room while you're holding on to your feet, and you might even be like saying something while you're doing it as well. And so when you're in a class of people and everybody's just like waddling around, it's super strange. But
oh my God, it sounds awesome though.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm so down to try that. You should look into it. It sounds really cool. I like with the quick breathing. I can actually imagine that you get like into like because of the quick breathing, you probably like get a different kind of like
it builds up like some heat and energy. And,
exactly. Yeah.
But anyways, that was kind of a tangent, and I don't know if that would really work for a morning routine, but I just haven't really had a chance to bring up Kundalini on the podcast yet, and it's something that I like, and for those who are listening and are interested, you should definitely check it out. But yeah, and so you do that for a little while, and is that also something that you kind of just have figured out which poses and flows work for you, or did you find a routine online or anything?
Yeah, I just like watched a bunch of different videos online.
Nice.
And now I've just figured it out what I need and what I want to feel good. Every once in a while I'll still watch some videos, but I just like watched all summer every day, like videos all the time.
Yeah.
Tried to figure out new ones, different ones. There's always new stuff to learn, I guess, in yoga.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool about it, that it's not just stretching. You can actually learn stuff and get better at it as well.
Yeah, definitely. You can get stronger too.
Yeah.
And has that completely replaced stretching for you, or does stretching fall somewhere in your day usually?
I don't stretch anymore.
No, just all yoga.
The yoga I do is the stretching. I only do like this, like more of a stretch yoga because,
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to stretch, don't do that anymore. I don't really roll either. Foam roll, I don't really either use. Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, I heard some stories that it's not super good for your back and stuff like that. Depending on how you do it.
It's one thing that is probably the biggest misconception about it, and I see my friends do it all the time, and I want to say something, but I don't, because I don't want to be it's one of those things that it's somebody's routine, and I don't want to be like, hey, you're doing that wrong. Like, you should probably do it differently, because in the morning, whatever. But basically, the biggest no is to just like roll back and forth or like go fast. And every time I see somebody get down on a foam roller, they're just like going back and forth, and then they'll switch over to the other side and they're rolling, and they're just kind of like, and it's really, foam rolling is effective when it's like trigger point therapy.
Yeah,
so you get to a point and you let it sit there, because your muscle takes like at least 10 or 15 seconds, or your fascia, I guess, to really respond to it and for that to break up. Mm-hmm. And so when you're just like rolling back and forth really fast, you're really not doing anything other than kind of making it's like, it's kind of funny because it feels like you're doing something, but it's really not that beneficial. And I mean, I can imagine there's certain positions that you can get in on your back that I would be curious. Sometimes I'm like, this maybe doesn't feel totally right. And I usually just kind of try to avoid those positions. But I do like foam rolling, but just, doing it slow, which also is sometimes takes some time, and you got to have some patience.
I think like, that's what my thing is. I didn't have the patience, and that's why I like the yoga more, because it's not like you're chilling. Yeah. Even yin yoga, I liked it, but the thing is, like, you're actually doing something. You're trying to focus on something, what you're doing. With the foam rolling, I get a little bit bored. You're like laying on there and it hurts, and then you're just like, like, okay, when is this over? And then you move another couple centimeters, and then you're like, oh, when is this done? Like, it's like it's not as exciting as yoga, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm sure it, the thing that's cool is there's so many different things that you can do along that, in that same vein, that you find what works for you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's definitely good for you. It's just the way you do it, and I mean, I'm actually feeling great with just no, exactly. That's the thing. It's that's like, enough for me at the moment. If you can wake up and do yoga like most days, like, you're doing pretty good. So have you ever gotten into any sort of strength training or anything like that? On and off. Last summer I didn't have time. I was working all summer. The summer before that I was, as far as I remember. I went to the gym like 2-3 times a week. Cool. How do you feel about that? It's weird. I don't know, man. It's always different. Like, I've had a season where I even had a personal coach when I was riding for Nike back in the days. Yeah. And I would go out with him like 4 times a week, and I mean, definitely felt stronger, but I don't know, in snowboarding, I just feel that I don't know, it's weird to me. You don't feel like it maybe translates? It doesn't really translate to me in a way. Yeah. I feel like it's more about just snowboarding as much as possible, but the problem about snowboarding is that it's not it's an asymmetrical sport. I mean, you go with 1 foot forward and going crooked, and it's bad for your body, of course. Quote unquote. But I mean, you like, if you follow traditional exercise advice, snowboarding is like the worst thing that you could do. Exactly. But, I mean, that's not, and that's what's funny about a lot of that stuff is like, like a personal trainer isn't gonna have you personal trainer isn't gonna have you stand sideways and like bend down in this super off balance position, exactly.
It's
kind
of funny.
A personal coach who like knows a lot about snowboarding maybe can definitely
They
there
can
are
maybe
definitely
cater
good
little
ones that
things.
can make it work. Like I'm sure like at some like I don't know, for example, a friend of mine is going to the Red Bull facility in close to Salzburg where they have like the headquarters and they have like training centers there and they have coaches that are like 100% focused on skiing, freestyle skiing and stuff like that, and they can like help her out a bunch, and then it's definitely something else than just having a random personal coach that'll just show you how to like build up a little bit of muscle and that's it, and doesn't really have much knowledge about snowboarding itself. But I mean, I'm sure it helps. It helps for a lot of people. Last summer I didn't really need it because I did other kind of sports in a way, if you want to say it like that. But
what else did you do?
Well, kind of snowboarding. Not really though. It's kind of weird.
On the dry slope?
On the dry slope, yeah.
So that was just a big dry slope into an airbag.
Exactly.
And were you riding that like all the time?
No, not all the time. Like there would be a phase where I didn't jump for 3 weeks or something like that because it's just weird being up there. Honestly, like it's fun. It's so much fun.
Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Really?
But I haven't landed any of the tricks that I tried there. I was only going all in on the airbag, always going doubles and weird shit, like trying random tricks. But it definitely helps. Yeah. Like it definitely helps your riding, like about awareness. Yeah. In the air, but it's more about just having fun. Like as soon as a couple homies would come up and I'd be like, hey yo, let's go jump a little bit. Yeah. Because I was there all the time because I was working there as a chef cook. So I was there all the time, and then I was just hoping that some homies would come up because, of course, I wouldn't go there by myself and be training. And there'd be all these other jocks that would be like setting up their tripods and filming themselves, how they're and, like reviewing their own videos all the time on repeat and just like doing the same trick over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of those kind of people up there, but which kind of demotivated me. Or how do you say that? Yeah, demotivated.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. My English vocabulary is not that good sometimes.
You've told me your English vocabulary isn't very good, and your level of German isn't very good either.
Yeah, my grammar in German is pretty bad.
That's what it was. That's funny.
But yeah.
So I've heard people express opinions about the airbag thing not being good in snowboarding because it gives you a false confidence. But I think there is something to be said about just having the awareness and just being responsible with it and not being like, oh, okay, I know how this feels. I can take it to snow, you know? Yeah. But I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it's valid as a way to really try to learn something new? Or do you think it's better to get super comfortable with the step below on snow and then just do it when you're ready to do it?
Honestly, I just had a good time on that airbag. I just wanted to throw myself into that bag and land on my head and have a laugh with the homies. You know?
Mean, that's
what I was jumping for. And of course, I was trying tricks that I was thinking of that could be maybe possible in snow. And then you just try it and see what happens. But
you're not there like, okay, I'm doing this now. I can do it on snow.
No, hell no. No. I mean, I tried one of the tricks that I've been trying actually a bunch over the summer. Last week, and I couldn't get it.
Was that the tuck knee thing?
Yeah, that was the back 12 thing. And then like, I couldn't land it. I only had a couple tries. It was like a little bit hard packed snow in the landing, but like, I was just happy to try it. But like, yeah,
Do you think that's something that you would try if you hadn't tried it on the airbag?
No, that's the thing. Like I was thinking, I always went up to the airbag with the thought of like, okay, what kind of weird ass trick could I do now that I would never think of? But and then I like thought of a back 10 tuck knee, and then just somehow landed landed.
Yeah, you got to your feet.
I got to my feet on a 12 then, and it felt crazy. Like it worked perfect. So then I just kept on doing that one, like tried it a couple of times, and then I had some other tricks that I tried and that I would have never thought of before either. Mm-hmm. That I definitely want to try this winter in POW. I mean, the thing about the airbag is it's closer to POW than to park. Yeah. Because you can actually land your tricks. Yeah. You can like land and ride out. You just have to kind of have like a lighter landing and like a little bit back seat, so like pretty much like in PAL.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's to learning tricks, yes, maybe, but I've been like watching all these kids up there that would be going there every day, like all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, they're like these 12-year-old kids trying back double 10 mute grabs like the whole day. And will they try it in snow? I don't know.
Yeah.
My little sister, she's in the German national team, killing it, by the way, right now. But like, yeah, she was on the airbag a bunch, and she can do like sevens, frontside and backside and cap sevens and stuff on jumps and snow.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, then I like convinced her, okay, just go for a double backflip. It's like nothing's gonna happen
On
to
snow
you.
or on the
no
airbag?
on the airbag.
Okay.
And then she went for it, and then like she would just do triple front flips, double back flips, like all this kind of random shit always, because you just have this confidence. But is that gonna actually bring it to snow? No.
Yeah.
It's just something that can kind of help you get a little bit of awareness of what's going on in the air. But I don't know. It's a tough one to say. I mean, I think to me it was just having fun with the homies.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there's like a lot of people that take it too serious, I think, and that's what I think is a bummer.
Yeah.
Because there would be people that would move out there for like 3 months and like literally live
that's
there. And
what they do.
That's what they did. They did that every single day. I'd see them every day come into my restaurant, eat some food, go up there, jump, come back, eat, and go up and jump again. And then they did that for 3 months straight, or like 2 months or whatever. And didn't go on snow once in that time, even though the glaciers were open and the parks were open and everything. Just like they kind of get lost in that. Like,
no way.
They get too comfortable, you know? And I think that's a bummer almost. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I think that the way, what you're saying is going, having fun on it, not treating it too seriously as a training tool. I think that's where it's going to be. I think that's where it finds its best place, because it's kind of the same as snowboarding. You know, you're not, I mean, we're coming from a place where we have been snowboarding for a long time because we love it, not because we're trying to accomplish some athletic feat or whatever. And you naturally progress because it's fun to kind of go for the next thing, or like, oh, let's try this. And,
exactly.
you know, if you can treat the airbag that way instead of just showing up and be like, all right, I want to learn a back 10 double mute. Like, I'm just going to keep trying it until it works without them even knowing how to do a 1080 maybe on snow. I mean, I don't know what the situation is, but I think just using it as something that's fun and progresses naturally. I mean, I'd like to give it a try.
It's definitely fun, but
yeah.
As I said, it's just a couple people just take it too serious, but you're gonna have that in snowboarding no matter what nowadays. I mean, if you go up to Stubai or something like that, and you go to the jump section where they have like just teams and coaches and just like team outfits and everything, like they're just like, it's like a sport now. It's not what we like how we started snowboarding, like it's something that's fun and still is to us. But you go up there, man, you didn't get to experience it. Maybe you'll experience it if you come up on Friday, but like, wow, man, it's so depressing. It's so depressing to see how snowboarding has come in some ways. Like,
it makes me wonder if in 20 years, if there's still snow.
Dry slope Olympics.
if that's just going to be what all of snowboarding is, or I don't know. I mean, just because snowboarding is so young still, that I'm almost a little scared that this time that it's, you know, been such a cool thing, if it's going to be just taken over by the contest kind of things, or if it's going to kind of merge and be both sides, you know. I mean, I don't know. I think what we do, it's so much fun, and I love it so much, and so does everybody else that does it, that I don't think that would go away. But
no, definitely. I mean, as long as the snow is coming, we're gonna still have fun, of course. And I just think snowboarding is splitting in two different directions. It's still snowboarding, and it's quad corks versus switch nose presses or something like that. I mean, but it's still snowboarding. if Chris Corning wants to do a quad cork and stomp the shit out of it, like, I mean, I'm sure it's an exhilarating feeling to stomp a quad cork.
It probably feels insane. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
I mean, props
to. It must be like,
yeah. I'm definitely not trying to talk shit on
any
of those dudes
or
that whole thing, because obviously, you know, they're doing amazing things.
Yeah, I mean, they're just pushing the sport to another level.
Yeah,
but a lot of those people lose. They just lose track of the fun part of snowboarding and going out and not riding park when it's a POW day, just riding POW, just taking some turns and having a laugh with the homies, doing some tomahawks, and like just setting up a little tube or something when it snows the first time with your homies, and like just try some tricks and just have a good time. I don't know. Shredding slopes, all that kind of stuff. I feel like a lot of those kids just lose track of that and just go up and train, and that's all they do. And that's what I think is a bummer to me. You still have a lot of contest kids that really keep it real and they are having a great time. Yeah. But yeah, then there's the other half that just is just there for the money and for the win. Yeah, and that's not what I want to support.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So moving on to a slightly different topic, have you ever had any injuries?
Yeah, not too crazy actually. Worst one I had was breaking my fibula once.
Ooh.
Wasn't too bad. That was a clean cut. I had a plate on, like they put a plate on there. Right
How did it happen?
Actually in Stubai. I was getting too serious. Went for a cap 12.
Wow.
Went for a cap 12, turned out to be a 14, and just like, I don't know, landed weird and broke it.
Did you know right away?
Not really. Like, I noticed something happened, but then as soon as like after a couple minutes, or like after 10 minutes or something, I noticed that my foot is definitely not feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like probably one of the worst injuries I've had. I was out for 3.5 months, so it's not that bad.
What was the recovery like on that?
That one, I had like a physiotherapist. This is like the times before I was getting into yoga and all that kind of stuff. How
old were you at that time? Or how long ago was that, I guess?
That was like 4 years ago, I think. Something like that, yeah. Yeah, and had a physiotherapist, got massages, and like we did training together and all this kind of stuff, and then I just kept on doing the training on my own. But I mean, I had the plate in my ankle for the whole season then.
Oh, really?
So I broke it end of season, was healing up over the summer, went to Australia to ride the first time, and was filming, like finishing my project that I was filming for, and it was just really annoying with the plate in the boot, but it was just a whole season where I had to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then I got it out, and ever since I don't feel anything anymore, like nothing at all.
Really? So you got it out at the end of the season?
End of the season, I took it out again then, yeah. And then it was perfect. It was just like a little bit annoying. Definitely could feel the first couple weeks the first 1 or 2 months after like starting to ride, it was definitely still in pain sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was, as I said, it wasn't too bad of a injury, and yeah, also I like operated my other ankle at the same time because I've always had issues with my ankle. Like if I'd land a little bit weird on my toe edge or something, then it would definitely start hurting for the whole rest of the day. And then I got that operated, so like both ankles.
Oh, what did you do on that? Was it a ligament thing?
No, it was like I don't know what it's called in English. Like I guess the bones were kind of touching each other, and like what's it called? The rubber that's in between it, like the
cartilage.
Cartilage, yeah. Yeah. The cartilage in between was kind of worn off.
Okay,
so it would touch bone on bone always, and then they had to like kind of, and then the bone on bone part was like that it grew extra bone on it, and they had to like chop off a little bit of it.
Oh, okay. So they went in there, shaved it down, and
then it was pretty much good to go.
Huh.
I mean, still had some problems afterwards, but then throughout time it got better and better.
Yeah. And how long was it before you were walking on? You did both those surgeries at the same time?
I can't remember. The thing was, on that time I was smoking a shit ton of weed, so I don't remember much anymore from that time. So I was doing the 420 rehab, but
nice.
I don't know. I heard after that actually that it's not good at all to smoke a lot of THC and stuff when you're trying to get healed. But
really,
I don't know. Like I've heard different things. Some people say it's really good. Some people say it's really bad. So I just like from now on, if I get injured, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna get bored out of my mind and try to smoke more than or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mental aspect of it is definitely nice when you don't have anything to do to get a little high or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think I looked into some stuff like that, and I don't remember what I came across. But I definitely avoided getting high for at least. I mean, I was doing a lot of CBD stuff, but for at least like a month, I tried to avoid getting high, and then I had some edible stuff. But I don't know. I think the one thing that I came across for sure was, I mean, just the fact like smoking anything is probably not the best when you're trying to heal something like that.
That's what it was, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people who just, they get really high as they're healing and it helps them. And
yeah,
I don't know.
Probably different from everybody. For everybody.
Yeah. So as you know, I have things in my leg. I've got screws and a big rod in it, and I plan on getting all of it out eventually. I hope, at least. I don't know if I can or not, but it made a pretty big difference when you got it all out, you said.
Yeah, it definitely helped a lot. I mean, it like takes another like month or something like that where you got to take your time to like let it heal and let the wound heal, of course, from the operation, and kind of like the holes of the bone, kind of like where the screws are in and stuff like that, can heal up as well.
Did you do rehab for that too?
No.
You just
really.
kind of...
No, I went to the gym and stuff like that a little bit for sure, but like nothing crazy. I mean, but it definitely helped. For me, it was more like an annoying part to have in the boot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still have metal in my shoulder. I don't really...
Oh, really? What happened with your shoulder?
I broke my collarbone once, like 3 or 4 times, I think, in total.
3 or 4 times?
Yeah, but
Same collarbone?
No. Wait, this one I broke once. That one was kind of bad, actually. The right one, I like broke it and was out for 3.5 months, so that's pretty long for a collarbone.
Yeah.
They gave me like a plate that went across and then like kind of hooked underneath my joint. So like I couldn't lift it higher than 90 degrees.
Oh my God.
So like I was like kind of like just couldn't really do much for 3.5 months, and then they took it out. Then I had to start rehab really properly.
Yeah,
and then I could start
to get the range
slowly.
of motion, I'm sure.
Exactly, get the motion 100% back and everything. But with the other one, it was just a straight plate, and I still have the metal in there, and it doesn't do anything to me. I'm sure, like, how many screws do you have and like plates and everything? You must have a shit ton, right?
No, not really. Actually, I have one rod that goes the length of my tibia, like in the middle of it.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah.
And I've got two screws on top and 2 screws in the bottom.
Yeah,
and the only ones that really bother me are the screws up by my knee. My knee just gets pretty sore, especially around that area after I've been exercising or doing anything for a while.
Yeah,
snowboarding.
I'm sure the screws, when they're out, it definitely feels a little bit different. Like my brother broke his kneecap playing ice hockey, and it was a pretty bad one. He was out for 1.5 years or something like that, and he had like different kind of like metals in his body. Like first they just like took a wire and like wrapped it around his kneecap and like tightened it.
Whoa!
Super sketchy, actually. And
that sounds
then
crazy.
It didn't like heal, of course. I had to take it out, had to break it again and put like a star on it with like a bunch of screws, like a metal plate that would like kind of just really hold it together. And he had some issues with it for sure with the plates in there, and as soon as it took out, like, I mean, it's a pretty heavy one what he had, but he definitely feels way better without the stuff in there. So I'm sure with the screws out, I'm sure your body's gonna just like it's like something that's not supposed to be in your body. I mean, it's not accepting it. Of course.
I always wonder if any implants like that metal, if your body's just slowly kind of just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think especially in the knees where it's so much movement going on. Yeah, it's definitely nice when that's out then, because then your knee is just normal again, and then it can like heal up, and then it's all good. But for my shoulder, for example, I mean, it just feels weird when you touch it, but it doesn't really like.
You have full range of motion. Everything
completely.
Like that.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't feel it. You don't really move much on that part because it's just on the shoulder, on the collarbone. Yeah, and not like kind of like on a joint or something like that, or close to like body part that moves a lot or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and the rehab with that one, I mean, just were you doing like resistance bands or lifting, or I mean, how did you, I mean, that just seems like such a crazy one to break. I mean, just because, you know, if you put your hand on your collarbone and you move your arm around in any way, you know, your collarbone is moving.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, I can imagine you were in a sling for a while it was healing, or just once you got the plate, were you just kind of,
once you got the plate, you're all good. You can kind of
just basically a full bone again.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it takes like 6 weeks to heal up, of course.
Yeah.
For the bone to grow back together, and then after that, you're pretty much almost good to go. It took me 2 weeks to like heal up, and like 2 weeks of like just movement training and stuff. Like, I don't know, just rehab, and then you're good. I don't know. That's what it felt like on the shoulder. At least it didn't really need much. Still have a screw in my elbow. That one's kind of annoying. I never rehabbed that, and I still feel it. I got insanely high the whole time and didn't do anything for my elbow. And definitely feel a big difference. Like sometimes when I'm picking up heavy shit or shoveling a lot or something, I can actually still feel it. And it's been 3 years now. Damn. It was actually at Rockerwell when you were there too.
Yeah, you told me about that. And you still have a screw in there?
I think so.
Do you think you'll ever get that out?
I don't even remember what. Yeah, it's this shoulder.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Yeah, it's right here. Man, I don't know. It's not that bad. It's just kind of like sometimes it feels weird. It's kind of like a second funny bone, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you touch that one, it's like it doesn't like feel nice.
Yeah.
Same with the shoulder, the collarbone. Like when you touch the plate, it just doesn't feel. It feels weird. But I've gotten used to that one. The elbow is a little bit weirder for sure.
Yeah. And so I asked if you've had any injuries, and you were like, yeah, one. And then now it's like you still have a bunch of metal in your body. Is there anything else we're missing? Any concussions or anything?
Yeah, a couple, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Luckily. Nothing really. I'm gotta say, knock on wood, I've never had any ligament issues or anything like that. And that's what nice. I'm very happy about, because that's stuff that just doesn't heal up as quick and easy. Mm-hmm. Bones heal. Yeah. Easy as that. And ligaments, you never know. Yep. That's always a more tough one. So pretty pumped about it. Nothing like that has happened. And I've had a lot of flat bombs in my life, and like flat, big ass drops and stuff like that where no landings were involved, and nothing has happened to me so far. So I'm pretty happy. Keep that morning routine. Keep doing yoga. You're going to be good. Good to go. Cool. So you are vegetarian. Yeah. Yeah. How long? Almost 2 years now. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. About 2 years. Cool. Let's say 2 years. Yeah. And how do you feel about it? I feel great. I mean, I definitely had a couple fallouts when I was really drunk, but once I blacked out and my brother ordered me French fries and he ordered himself a burger, and somehow I ate the burger. I don't remember it, so I don't remember, so it doesn't count in my opinion. Yeah. But once Kevin Backstrom tricked me into eating a meat burger when we were drunk in a strip bar in Portland. Yeah. He told me it was a portobello mushroom burger. And and you ate the whole thing? No, I ate like a couple bites of it, and I was like, nah, yeah, come on, fuck something's you, man. Going on here. No, but other than that, I've been actually more or less pescatarian. Every once in a while, like let's say once every 2 months or once a month, I'll eat a little bit of fish. Okay. Depending on where it's from, and if I'm like close by the sea or something, then I'll eat a little bit more fish. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, been feeling pretty good about it. Like I had like a lot of different reasons why I started it, and one of the reasons was health, and that definitely changed a lot of how I cook and how I like eat what kind of food I eat and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but then in the end, like there's always stuff that added to it, like just animals in general. I love animals, and it's just not human what some people are doing with mass production and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the more you invest in it, the more you learn about, and exactly, you don't forget that stuff. But yeah, it's so easy to
one of the biggest things that I enjoyed about having a diet like that for a while is it kind of makes you uncomfortable. Like you all of a sudden can't just eat whatever, and you kind of have to learn food a little more. You have to develop more of a relationship with food. Mm-hmm. And it's so easy to just heat up a chicken breast or like throw some meat in a bun, and you're full. And what's kind of cool about it is it's not as easy to get full, and so you kind of have to start being creative. I learned to appreciate vegetables a lot more, and there's actually so many different ways that you can make vegetables taste incredible. Yeah. Like portobello mushrooms, dude, that's one of the. I mean, it's not a vegetable, but mushrooms are my favorite.
It's so good.
Yeah. And you were working as a chef this summer.
Yeah, I was at what we were talking about before that dry slope park, the Banger Park. It's located literally like 20-minute bike ride away from my parents' house. So I was staying all summer at my parents' house, rented out my apartment in Innsbruck on Airbnb, and just worked there as a chef cook. I've never been a cook, never learned how to do it, never even had a job in my life.
Yeah,
like a proper job.
That's crazy. Did you, as soon as you needed money, you were getting paid from snowboarding, or how did that work?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
man, that's awesome.
I've been like getting money from snowboarding since like probably 10 years or something like that.
Sick.
So like at the age of 17, I think I started getting like decent paychecks.
Yeah. And it was a vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah, it was a vegetarian restaurant. So it was funny. Like I just wanted to go there, and I've been kind of broke lately, so I like wanted to just grab a job. And then the owner was like, "Yeah, well, we're gonna have a kitchen as well." Actually, we don't have any jobs, but yeah, we're actually having a kitchen. And I'm like, "Oh, I kind of like to cook," and yeah, just the problem is I'm vegetarian. I would not want to cook meat. And he's like, "Well, I'm vegan," so it was
perfect.
Like, yeah, perfect. And then he showed me the kitchen, and I got in there and. Like a month later, cleaned up the place because it was like an old little like smoking tavern from the local ski resort. That was just like for the locals where they all got drunk, and then I had to like kind of change it into a restaurant. So I pretty much started from scratch for everything. And I've never had experience in the kitchen. I've just always liked to cook, and I've always been cooking for all my friends before riding and stuff like that. Yeah. I'd slap a couple burritos together for lunch on the hill and stuff like that, or I don't know, make some different kind of stuff. And I've always enjoyed that. So yeah, I thought like, why not? I mean, I've always thought about being a cook somehow. Mm-hmm. Might as well try it out. If I get this kind of chance that I can just like literally go there without any kind of school or anything, no experience, and just open my own restaurant. That's like the
so
best.
You developed the menu, or
I did everything. I literally
crazy.
worked there to 50% by myself, even without a waiter.
Wow.
It was pretty hectic. I mean, the thing was, this dry slope park, they just opened last summer, and like middle of summer, they didn't do any commercial, no nothing. They just like opened it. Yeah. And just wanted to see what happens. Uh-huh. They didn't really have any plans what's going to happen. Now, you got like 50, 60 kids a day. Wow. Jumping that stuff. Yeah, it's ridiculous. All these teams are coming up there a lot, like 50% teams, 50% are of kids just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
So they were just like, yeah, I mean, we're going to try to get like a restaurant going combined with the Banger Park. And then they just said, okay, why not just do it? It's cool. Like, got your name on there as well. People might want to just come just even to see like what Ethan Morgan is up to these days in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's like, cool that you know, I'm sure that he was stoked that you're a blogger and stuff like that too.
That definitely like helped a lot to get that job. Obviously, if I would have been just a random dude trying to get it.
Just, hey, can I cook for you? Do you have any cooking experience? No. What other jobs have you had? Nothing. All right, well, at least you're vegetarian. Let's do this. So sick.
No, yeah, it was cool. Like, I got to do my own menu. I did like a couple burritos, like 3 different burritos, like 2 burritos and one durum, like a kind of Turkish kebab thing.
Cool.
And then a couple desserts and stuff like that were vegan or vegetarian.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before that one of those was like a seitan burrito.
Yeah, that was the kebab. Yeah,
so
cool. Like I made my own seitan. I mean, I made everything from scratch pretty much. I've always been a fan of making everything from scratch always, if I can. So yeah, I made seitan on my own.
And how do you make that?
It's super easy actually. It's pretty cool. You like it's pretty much like baking bread. You just
Really?
like mix up a bunch of different things together. So like you got this gluten wheat. You have to have a specific kind of like pure vital gluten wheat is what it's called in the U.S. I think. But I just found this gluten wheat that works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And nutritional yeast, spices. You can spice it up however you want, and then you just mix that all together with some vegetable broth and like really knead the dough, and then cook it in water for like 40 minutes, and then you just let it sit, and then you can just start like either like pulling it apart and
you cook it in water.
You cook it in water, or you can steam it as well. So you can do it different ways. Like there's like it's pretty cool. Like
that's
you
wild.
can make it taste like chicken. You can make it.
Yeah,
taste
I've had
anything.
a lot of seitan, fake chicken or chicken nuggets, things like that.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of like trying to like make food that is a 100% substitute to meat.
Yeah.
But in this case, at the restaurant, I kind of wanted to try that, so I did. I did pulled jack for burritos.
I mean, it's easier. I think, especially creating a menu, it's easier for somebody to purchase something that has like a main, protein.
Yeah,
especially if somebody who normally eats meat, if it doesn't have anything like that in there, like seitan or tofu or whatever, they might be like, well, where's the protein?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I made sure that it was as healthy as possible because that's what the whole goal was in general, that the kids would come down to eat and just get a healthy meal after riding that would get them protein and energy. So I would always dump a bunch of black beans in there and a lot of greens always on the side and stuff like that, so that these kids would be like eating something good. And I think it was kind of cool for them that they saw that I was the cook. Yeah, they would get maybe a little bit motivated. That it
inspires them to be a little healthier.
Exactly, because like some kids would come in there and they would just want chips and salsa, and that's it, and that would be their lunch or
pizza.
Yeah, that's like pretty much what a lot of kids would do, and a lot of kids were really confused by the fact that it was vegetarian. Especially a lot of locals from that town were confused that it was vegetarian because this is a tiny little town in the middle of like on the border to Austria and Germany, and Austria is very known for eating a shit ton of meat. Yeah. So people are like, whoa, what is this? What is a burrito? Like, people didn't even know what burritos are. Still, like,
that's so crazy.
Yeah, I had a couple of guests come in and they would be like, what is a burrito? And I'm just like, you know what? Just forget about it. Don't eat here. You're not going to like it. I mean,
were there a lot of people who came in and were like, wait, you don't have any meat?
Yeah, we had a couple, but they would be like, where's the meat, Ethan? Come on. And I was just like, and then I would just like warm up some pull jackfruit for them and tell them like, like here's some meat. And I gave it to some people and they ate it like, this is really good meat, man. Really nice. Yeah. And I like tell them afterwards like, you want a jackfruit burrito? They're like, wait, what? What do you mean? Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's not meat. And they're like, no, come on. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Like, I just kind of did it like the substitute just to like mess with the people a little bit, but also like show that it's easy to be vegetarian and still have like the meat flavors in there. But I like to cook more like keep it green and stuff like that and like make sure it doesn't taste like meat. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't. If I go back there next summer and work again, then I was thinking about maybe making burgers or something like that. But then I would not make just a burger with like some kind of meat substitute patty. I would just like try to make like a full-on really healthy cauliflower chickpea patty or something like that, and then just like a different mix of vegetables that go with it, and then a healthy wheat bun or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, like that's kind of. How it went down over there, and it worked out pretty well actually. Therefore, that the Banger Park just opened, and there were not too many guests there at the time. But then, started realizing being a chef cook is an insanely stressful job, man. Yeah, like definitely started. Especially
one man kitchen.
Yeah, one man kitchen, and then that's where it started like going downwards for me. Actually, even that I started just like not eating or like. I would cook so much for everybody, and I wouldn't want to eat my own food. So I hated my own food so much. I heard about this about a lot of cooks and stuff like that, and that they say they don't eat their own food. They just don't eat it. It's disgusting to them. It's like a product to them, you know. And I can't see a burrito anymore. I haven't eaten a burrito in a long time, man.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a bummer because I loved cooking so much, and then I was always like so hyped about making something healthy and good for myself. And then I would come home after a long day at work and would be insanely hungry because I didn't eat anything because I had all this, because I only had burritos. And then I would just open up a box of ice cream and just eat it for dinner.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
whoa,
it kind of bummed me out. And
that's
then like,
crazy.
Yeah, that's like what a lot of people say, that chef cooks that all they eat is like frozen pizza. They put it in the oven and that's their dinner because they don't want to cook. I mean, that's the last thing you want to do when you come home. Like, cook another meal.
I mean, even when I was working at the coffee shop this summer, I was a prep cook, and so I was doing a lot of stuff like that, a lot of prep, and my girlfriend was working late every night, and a lot of times I would have to make dinner, and I'd get off of this 8-hour shift and just fucking start cutting more vegetables for dinner, and I'm just like, this is not what I want to be doing right now. Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I definitely had to cut a lot of potatoes and sweet potatoes and stuff like that. I made all my own fries. I didn't buy any fries or anything, so that was the stuff that was just.
Dude, cutting potatoes kind of sucks.
Oh, it's so time consuming and so frustrating, like so annoying. You're just doing. It's like you're working on a factory. Like you're literally just like cutting potatoes, put them in the fryer, cut potatoes, put them in the fryer, let them dry. But it's like and it got super annoying. But then like after a while, after stopped working there, I started went out to eat more often and started to try to experiment at different restaurants and see what their kind of style, what they're doing and stuff like that.
Started eating food again.
Yeah, I started eating food again and not ice cream for dinner. And then started getting over that. It's also pretty expensive in Innsbruck, and now I'm back to finally cooking again. And like the season started, I want to be healthy, so now I got a motivation again. Yeah. And now, like with you being here, man,
dude, we've been killing it.
Only one day already, and I feel like I've never been this healthy in a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty sick
on the hill and everything.
Honestly, so it's been really cool to be here and for you to be so down to go grocery shopping, and then we can cook together. And I mean, last night we had curry, lentil curry with quinoa, and we made cut up a bunch of veggies for a salad to have on hill, which what you're saying, having a salad midday riding is like the best thing. And I never even really thought about it that much before, but you can eat so much and feel so like you ate food, but not weighed down at all.
Exactly.
You can just keep
light.
boarding.
You could go like eat half of the salad and just keep riding, or you could even eat the whole salad and just ride right away because it's not so heavy in the stomach. A little bit of chickpeas in there. You got some protein and got some energy, and then I mean it tastes good. It tastes fresh, and it's a nice little lunch. And that was definitely nice. And then like learning from you, like the healthier smoothies and stuff like that, like with greens and stuff like that. I've always wanted to get into that, and then I don't know, been starting to like try to feed off all these other people coming to my apartments always, because like to my apartment here, because a lot of people come here to ride, and everybody has different like thoughts on stuff, and I'm really interested to always hear from other people what's going on. And I feel like you have definitely stepped up the game in this apartment now. And
well, tune in to the podcast, because I try to dive deep on kind of all those things, because everybody's got their things that they've learned about it and have been able to successfully incorporate it into their life. Because that's the biggest thing is, you can learn everything you want about nutrition and stuff like that, but it's so much that you can really only introduce things a little bit at a time, and only certain things stick. And so when you get to spend time with people and see how they're like, oh yeah, I just like do this, and it's like, oh wow, I should do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I guess I might as well break down the smoothie that we had this morning, because it's a smoothie that I pretty much have the same thing quite a bit, and it's my nutritionist loved it. She thought it was a great mixture of things, and so it's. I put a banana in there, 1 or 2 handfuls of spinach, some chocolate protein powder, vegan protein powder. The one I have at home is a fermented one, but I mean, any kind of chocolate protein powder works. Some full fat coconut milk. If you do it a can, I usually do 1/4 of a can. I think it's something like 10 grams of fat or something like that you want to get in there. And, you can also do an avocado instead of the coconut milk. But then ground flax seeds, because flax seeds have a lot of omega-3s, but you can only absorb that if they're ground. And then I put some cinnamon in there just because I think that gives it a nice flavor kick, and cinnamon is a superfood as well. And what else? And then sometimes I'll throw a scoop of peanut butter in there because it gives it a little bit more creaminess. And I think that's kind of it. And then fill it up with a little bit more water in case because if you just do all that, and some berries. Usually I do frozen berries because then that gets it a little cold as well. But yeah, and then just put in some water to, make it at least a little smooth. Because if you just do all those things and blend it up, a lot of times it can be really pasty. But yeah, water until it's the right consistency, and dude, I love it. It's so good.
I was so hyped.
You can put so much spinach in there, and it doesn't taste like you're just eating a green smoothie. And you got a nice balance of things. Not too much fruit because then it can get a little too sugary. But yeah, so that's my smoothie. For those of you who want a green smoothie recipe,
I'm getting in there. We're gonna try out a bunch of different of Jesse's smoothie this week for sure.
Yeah,
we gotta get in there. Yeah, that was really delicious, and you could feel after every gulp, even right away, you'd be feeling that it's really healthy for you as well.
Yeah.
We put a little bit of wheatgrass in there as well today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I want to get on the wheatgrass. I don't know too much about it, but I know that it's a good thing, and it's a nice thing to throw in smoothies.
Yeah, it says here.
And I can't read that, so.
Yeah, this is German, but it has okay, I don't even know how to translate it. It's vitamin K.
Vitamin K.
And zinc. What's zinc again? Yeah, no.
Zinc is a vitamin.
Yeah,
it's a
mineral.
Okay, no, I thought,
mineral. No, because it says Eisen, and that's zinc. I wasn't sure if you actually translate it like that, but you do, I guess. And Folsäure. I don't know what that is. Probably good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped on getting a little bit more healthy every time I meet new people and everything. So it's pretty cool. And now that you're here, definitely stepped it up, bringing up a salad and everything with a dressing on the sides
so it wouldn't get too soggy
and everything. We killed it. That was a really good salad. I was pretty pumped on that, and then got some leftover curry, and then the next day just try to figure out some good stuff that we can make. I'm always pumped to try out new stuff as well. Yeah,
and I don't make curry too often, and I forgot how easy it is. We whip that up so quickly. Just cut a bunch of vegetables, put it all in a pot with some coconut milk, cumin, and a couple other spices. Just let it kind of simmer there for 30, 40 minutes, and then it's incredible. It's so good.
It's so easy. It's like a classic thing that we like to always do, with leftovers. Just
because you can really throw anything
leftovers,
in there.
You can just throw everything you want in there, and then you're good.
Yeah, cool. Well, I guess the last major topic I want to bring up is I'm curious if you have anything else that helps you stay centered, or you work on your well-being other than the yoga and the meditation. Is there anything that kind of helps you stay focused or manage stress or anything like that? Do you have any other habits?
I don't know. I would right off the bat, I was just gonna say scooter.
Yeah. Every morning.
No, I first do my meditation, and then as soon as I get in the car, right now I'm super bummed. I lost my charger to my sound box, so we don't have insanely loud music in my car because my car doesn't have a radio, of course.
Yeah.
But that's my normal routine, just blast techno music all the way up the hill, and you get pumped up.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I mean, when you're saying you like to blast scooter sometimes when you're snowboarding, and then you played a song, I was imagining myself today. Yeah, I was getting a little low energy today, and I was just thinking if I had headphones in and I blasted that, I'd probably be right back up at 10, hitting those jumps.
It's nice, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, what's that?
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's when there's the right time for music to make you feel good, it can make you feel so good.
Oh yeah. No, it has to be the right time, right kind of music, of course. I mean, if you're really tired and you're driving for a while, just blast scooter, you'll be
You're
awake
good
for
to
another
go.
hour at least. So,
Yeah. If you
yeah,
start falling asleep listening to this, just change the channel to the scooter.
yeah,
You'll
exactly.
be good to
Yeah, exactly. Just drop in on Hyper. It's a good classic one. Hyper.
Dude, we gotta ingest
Oh yeah.
some songs
We're going
before
to.
we go. I gotta, because, you know, when you know a song and it comes on when you're there live, you're like, yes.
If you have no idea what's going on, it's gonna be a bummer.
I mean, I'm sure either way, that kind of music,
Yeah.
you can get into it and everybody's gonna be having a good time. But
I think
I
the
would be
show in
stoked.
general is gonna be just insane. Apparently,
yeah.
like the light show and everything is just crazy.
Oh, nice. Is it
And-
at night?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Should be at night. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, it's something to get into. That's definitely a different kind of caffeine / cocaine, if you want to say it like
Yeah.
that. Just blast techno and then you're good.
Yeah.
Or death metal. That's another one that gets you pretty.
Very good for well-being. Maybe. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, anything else?
I don't know. We've been chatting here away for quite some time. I don't even know what to talk about anymore.
I think we covered most of the bases.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, it's been an honor to have you on.
Oh, thank you for having me, man.
I was super excited to talk to you. I was, before I even came out here, I was
Nice, man.
definitely planning on trying to get you on.
Hell
So
yeah.
thanks for
No,
sitting
stoked
with
we
me
did
and
this.
doing this. And yeah,
Thank you for real. That was really cool, actually. Never done a podcast before, so
first timer.
yeah, it was nice. Just
Cool, man.
chatting away about random stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
No, cool.
All right, dude. Well, I'll catch you later. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Peace.
Thank you for listening, everyone. As always, you can reach me at boardbagstudio@gmail.com or on Instagram at boardbagstudio. I really appreciate everybody listening, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the future episodes. I've got some good conversations coming up, I promise. All right, thanks again, guys. See you later.